Hi everyone, this is Shamrani from Providence Life Design, and this video is about, it's a smidgen of Feng Shui video. I used to do, I did a few of them, really like to talk about like how to incorporate like crystals and things like that into your home. So this smidgen of Feng Shui has to do with like how I've had to like reconfigure inside my home, right? And many of us, especially when you're like an apartment dwelling, your space is limited. You have only one bedroom. That you wouldn't even believe how that could just be life-changing, having more than one bedroom. But like there's so many different limitations that affect us not even thinking like, oh, this is going to be better for me. Now, if you notice, I'm all a little sweaty, okay? And that's because I've had to I moved some furniture around and things like that. And then also, like for my workspace, so I'm able to appreciate more of the outdoors, right? I have these great windows where I live, and it allows me to look out and, and see the greenery and all of that. So this smidgen of Feng Shui video is really about like adjusting things. Now, correct, it's going to be either 9 or the number 27 of items that you want to move at one time. This is usually like if your house feels stagnant, okay? A lot of times I would recommend that people sage their home. You can get sage herb from the supermarket in the herb section, like where the produce is, where the refrigerated produce is. Or you can buy like bundles of like the white sage. You can buy that from like places that sell like bagua or spiritual items. There's another name, Botanica. Maybe some Botanicas may have them. I don't have like a Botanica that I go to, so I can't really tell you, but I'm going to assume that they're going to have sage, right? Because Botanicas have tons of other things that people that are into, not into, but people that need to use those kind of elements in their home and for their everyday way of life, it's usually like in a store like that. You're going to find them in a lot of like every supermarket, right? Even Walmart has sage, but it's going to be fresh. So you'll need to bundle that and then just put it to dry. And then you'll use it when it's dry, and then you'll like smoke out the space with it, right? But the idea of moving 9 items is profound. It's just you have changed the energy. You have changed around the space. You have changed the way you look at the space when you enter. You have changed around the way that you flow in the space and the way you move in it, what you use, that type of thing. Now, just to give you something hypothetical, I had actually did this for myself, like not even realizing I did it. It wasn't until I decided that I was going to make this video, this smidgen of Feng Shui video, and I said, oh my goodness. It's just like, so what it was that I did was I have a little coffee table in my main living space. This is where I relax. This is where me and the children will snuggle up together. This is where we watch television. And I have this not little, it's quite big. It's actually like a 2-tier coffee table. But on the coffee table, it'll have usually what I'm working on at the moment. It'll have a lot of my crystals, that type of thing sometimes, right? The crystals weren't always there. But then I realized I have to make this haven of good energy, right? So what I did was I have a piece of onyx. It's a bigger piece of onyx than this. This is a broken small piece. But it was like a piece of onyx. I have crystals on it. If you've seen a little picture that I've posted with my new business cards, because they're just so colorful and pretty and feminine. You'll see all these crystals and things that's what those rocks are, guys, if you don't know what it is. So it has all these crystals and everything. So I've made this little space on my coffee table with my crystals, and I then put some plants. I have like plants that I don't keep it in dirt. I keep it in water with glass, right? So because it's kept in water and it's kept with the glass, are you following me? And then it has, and then like, you know, I have one of my crystals is, I don't remember the name off the top of my head. It's going to come to me after I've made this video. Of course it will. But, you know, I have like some metal elements. I have a clearing element. I have water. I have greenery and lush. You're bringing that outdoors in. So bringing that to that space that I repeatedly use all the time, that's great flow for me, right? Me, I'm empathic. I like to think. I'm an air sign. I like to think. I love my serenity. I love my space to feel really comfortable, you know, and that's why I make these videos. It's because I want you to make your home as comfortable and nurturing and welcoming and homely as possible. So in my space, what I did, all the furniture moving, is I had to move 2 tables. I had to move some vendor boxes, like where I keep my paint chips in. So I have like a few of them, right? Because I give references and do specifications off of 3 brands, right? For different reasons. It depends on what we're talking about. And then, you know, and then, you know, and I moved my printer. So I moved my computer. So there it is. I moved 9 items and it is changing the energy of my space. So right then and there, it gave me the inspiration to make this video for you. Think about it. Like, what would you like to change around in your space? Like, you know, what can you throw away that you don't need? Is there something that you've kind of been like, just every time you clean, you're cleaning and you're putting it right back? No. Maybe you need to either throw it away. Maybe you need to donate it. Maybe you need to ask your neighbor, do you want this? Would you have a need for this? Do you know someone that would need it? I mean, you have to think about ways to pose things, because sometimes people get insulted very easily, right? And they don't understand, you know, the good in repurposing and recycling things. And then at the same time, you don't want to clog up somebody else's house, right? So that's why you just got to get rid of it, all right? If you don't need it, just rid yourself of it. Think about the value it has. Think about how soon am I going to need this again? That type of thing. But, you know, change around your space. It's so important. Some people, they don't really need it. Maybe they don't need a full interior design. Maybe they just need a redesign, you know, where it just like changes things around and repurposes things and reuses things, move things in a different way, allow the sun to hit it from a different direction, allow it to be in a different vantage point so you can appreciate it at a different time of the day. You see what I'm saying? There's like you may have to rewind this video and go through it and then make a little list, make a little mental notes to yourself, especially if you're trying to make like a great little configuration for a home office. I didn't want to like label the video that per se, but it doesn't apply only to your home office. It can be for your bedroom, okay? Maybe you need to color organize your closet. If you wear as much colors as I do, I have clothes of like all colors, right? But I have my favorites too. Like, I love green. I love yellow. Oh, with all my heart and being and total soul, right? There's nothing better than yellow. Or green, right? I love those 2 colors. But then there's other things that it's not necessarily my favorite color, but it's flattering for me, right? So you got to think about like, oh, like what's flattering? What do I use that, you know, brings out my essence? What makes me feel more feminine? If you're a man, you know, think about like what brings out my cool? What brings out my eclectic side? What brings out my, you know, my eccentric side? I don't want anyone to get so caught up in like not having what they should have around them based on, oh, maybe it's too feminine or it's too masculine. No. When you're creating the correct milieu for your home and how it's going to treat you, that, you know, you just let nature, let your instinct, let your love, right? Let your instinct, let your thoughts, let your children, I don't know, see if there's an organic way that you can kind of beautify and bring in from the outside without overpopulating your space with stuff. All right. So I hope this video is helpful. Maybe look around in your living room, see if there's 9 things you want to move around. Oh, and then one other thing, coffee table books. that's like something so important. Like coffee table books are something, they're almost like a portable desire. Think about like flashcards, right? We can move them around, we can reshuffle them, we can look at them, and it's the same thing with coffee table books. If you're a person, you love world travel, and you have a coffee table book about world travel, then that should be on your table, right? If you know, okay, this year, when all of this is over and done with, where am I going to go first and see? Is there something from that country that you have in your possession and you love it? Put it on the table, right? Me personally, because I love design. I have my favorite designer, Candace Olson. Don't make me start crying. And like, she has the most beautiful books, right? And they just always like reinvigorate my love for interior design every single time. So I keep her books handy. Sometimes I won't have them, but the plant, the crystals, a book, maybe a book that I want to read a few passages on. You could just tower those things and keep them to the side and have a plant and have some crystals. And you have a beautiful space that is there to give you great energy whenever you spend your time sitting there, right? So your time there on the sofa is not idle. All right, this is Shamrondi from Providence Life Design. Feel free to reach out to me if you need consulting for interior design services, e-design, or if you want to talk about something. I do offer coaching. And if you have not joined already, I hope you go on over and join my new group. It's on Facebook, and it is called Life Design Topics. Have a blessed one. Take care.